we turn to our next speaker, who is Peter Ciaccio, who is waiting patiently. And Erica is again going to introduce Peter.
Hello, Peter. Hello, everyone. So I think I don't know whether Peter is a mother tongue or whatever, because his mother was from Northern Ireland, but he certainly has a good English, and he spent his year abroad as a student of the Waldensian Church Mission in Salisbury under the supervision of Tim McQuibben. So you can see there is a circle connecting everyone here. He was a minister of the Waldensian Church in Palermo for 9 years, and he's going to talk about that, I think, and has now moved to Trieste very recently, where he's in charge of the Waldensian Church and the Methodist Church there. He's also a very appreciated film critic. He's written several books, and if you look at the titles, you think, oh, this is light stuff, like, I don't know, Harry Potter and the Gospel. And then you read it and you find it's very deep. So it's good that he may attract new readers and young readers to something which is obviously old. And so it's interesting to see this, how good he is in connecting light music, pop music, and other things, and cinema, and being also a serious minister. So here we are.
Hello, good morning, everybody, or actually good afternoon in Italy. It's after 12. So, well, in the Facebook event, it was written that I ended in glory. Actually, I'm still alive here, so I would like to stress on that. Even if my look is more like Paul McCartney after the accident that never happened. It's very good to be with you, to see so many faces of friends and of people that I would like to know better, but the situation makes so that we cannot meet. I would like to greet especially just one person, and not to make a problem to everybody else, to Duncan Henson, because even if we don't know a lot of each other, but I spent 2 months in Ciaccio, so please bring my greetings to Admiral United Church of Christ and to my friends. Seattle is in my heart, really, and I loved it. Okay, so yes, I've been nine years in Palermo. First 2 years as a pastor in the Methodist and Waldensian Church in La Noce, which is just on the side of the Centro Diaconale, and after that I had been elected in the main Waldensian Church, right in the city center of Palermo. Now you all know, some of you know how it ended, but how it started, that's something interesting. Because we are Christians, and we say that we are all saints, but Martin Luther said that we are saints and sinners at the same time. So when I went to Palermo, some of my colleagues asked me quietly, "Wow, you're going to Palermo? What have you done for this? Why they send you to Palermo?" And maybe I was just already in the Palermo character, so I said, well, I'm not going to tell you why I've been sent to Palermo, so I kept it as a secret. But it's just that, and that shows that for me that was the showing of a prejudice, because I really been fine in Palermo. I love being there, and it's also a place where there is much work to do, and especially as churches. And that the reason why it's especially the difficulty of the administration of Palermo. So there is a lot of unemployment and a lot of illegal jobs. And by illegal jobs, I don't mean the mafia. I mean that you work in as a cleaning lady, and that's illegal. You know, you don't, you know, you don't pay taxes, you don't have a contract. And I met a lot of people who don't have a bank account, who are invisible to the government. And in that context, the role of a church can be very important. The mayor of Palermo, Luca Orlando, who became a friend, and he always says that Palermo is a welcoming city, but he's a politician, that's what he has to say. But the welcoming that Palermo does is mostly private, it's from churches. There is very little that the administration can do for financial reasons or for a culture. It's more like, okay, you organize yourself and then we endorse you. So it's quite easy to get an endorsement as long as you don't ask for money. And that's part of the difficulty, but also of the challenge in Palermo. And a big work that has been done there in the years was ecumenical and interreligious dialogue, especially. And I've been in Palermo in difficult years for interreligious dialogue. The years of the attacks in Paris and in other cities. Palermo has an important and historical presence of Muslim people. So thanks to the new Archbishop, who is, I have this expression, he's a Francis boy. He has been appointed by Pope Francis, and he is actually, he transmits what is Pope Francis' ministry locally. He involved us a lot. He asked me straightforwardly for my opinion on how to handle interreligious dialogue in the city, and we worked together to endorse and sponsor the good people in Palermo, just to show people, to show all the other citizens that you know, there are good Muslims, which doesn't mean, you know, I know good Muslims, which could be a patronizing expression, but it means, look, your neighbor is a good person. Look, your butcher, your baker, you know, and he's a good person and he's Muslim, for example. So we've done a lot of work on that, and that helped the cohesion of a city that needs cohesion, that is always in danger of exploding for the social difficulties that are there, for the economic depression that the city experiences. And it has been very rewarding to be a pastor in Palermo, and in the end it was sad to leave, but healthy to leave. I think that I understood why I was to move somewhere else when I realized how much can we do in a place. And when you can do a lot, then it's time to let other people do something, and to I don't know if this is the right word, to depersonalize the work. You are there because you are part of the church, because the church is sending you there. and then the church will send somebody else, and we are all together. So there had been two events at the end of my ministry in Palermo, and one I will show you one because it's here with me, and it's out of the picture. I will bring it to you. So Erica was stressing about my Northern Irish origins. Now, so this means that I am somehow partly British and Irish and Italian. But now, something that characterizes the British is their mania of collecting things, of going around the world and collecting things. So this is part of my collection. This is the street sign dedicated to Pietrovaldo Panaccia, to Pastor Panaccia, and this was a present from the mayor. I didn't steal it. It's not. If it was Abbey Road, I would have thought of stealing it, but okay. it's not as precious as Abbey Road. For me, it's very precious for how I worked to get this, and yeah, I don't like to say, oh, how good I was in getting this street to be named for Pastor Panaccia. Pastor Panaccia is the he has been the founder of the Centro Diaconale in Palermo. He has been the first Christian leader in Palermo to speak openly against the mafia. And he has been a great figure in the ministry of our churches, especially in Sicily, but I would say in all of the country. And yeah, so how did I make it? Because that could be a question. Well. There were a lot of people from the anti-mafia environment that were writing articles on papers. We should have a street named to Pastor Panaccia, and that's part of the local culture. You make theater like in ancient Greece. So you write an article to the paper. But when you write an article on the paper, you don't make anything to get a street sign. You have to write a letter to the right office and meet all the people and fight for the thing. So, and that's how it was possible. Because when I asked the mayor, he said just, of course, if there is somebody who deserves a street in Palermo, that's Pastor Panaccia. And actually, that all started with a refusal, because the mayor in 2016, he asked me if we wanted to have a street name for Martin Luther, because there was a kind of fashion in Italy. It's 2017, so let's have a lot of Via Martin Lutero, Parco Martin Lutero, Largo Martin Lutero, Piazza Martin Lutero in Italy. And I said to the mayor, no, I don't want Via Martin Lutero in Palermo. And he said, why? And I said, because I think that the streets of a city should have a trace of citizens who did something in the city. And there is a descendant, a spiritual descendant of Martin Luther in the city who deserves a street sign, and that's Pastor Panaccia. And if you make a Via Martin Luther, it's just like, oh, look how the Protestants lobbied wonderfully to have a Martin Luther street, which is something that they did in other places. And it's right, they've done so. But if the Reformation, the wave arrived in Palermo And Pietro Valdepanascia, he wasn't related to the Waldensian valleys. He was a Sicilian. His father was from Reggio Calabria, from Calabria. So he's a local, and it's right that he deserves this recognition. And in the end, just on the last day, we managed. There were a lot of oppositions in the offices. There was a lot of back work I had to do and see who was in the office. It wasn't that easy, but in the end, we managed to do it. And one day I will tell the backgrounds when the people involved are dead. Like I will tell about all the people, hoping that I'm the last one to die. Anyway. Then, while the mayor and where is it? Yeah, on the back is the sign of the signature of the mayor on the back of the street sign. The mayor told me, well, you are not thinking you're leaving Palermo because you will never leave this city. And I look at him and I say, oh, well, this looks like a threat. And he said, well, we have a surprise for you, but you need to transfer yourself to another city before we can do that. And I understood what was coming. And that was really a great surprise. So he granted me the honorary citizenship of Palermo, and that also something that as having some British blood in my veins, that's something that that it's important. It was very sad. My mother died some years ago. I didn't see it. I know that the British part of my family loved it. So I've been granted this honorary citizenship, and it's difficult to receive such an honor. And I'm trying to finish my speech. It's difficult to receive such an honor because when you receive such a recognition, you may think, how good I was, how good I acted. But sincerely, when you look back and what you've done things because other people helped you to do these things, because they were the conditions to do this. And it's pretty much the inheritance law in the United States. When you die in the United States, half of your property goes back to the community. Because if you become rich, it's because the community allowed you to become rich. Now, so if you achieved something, at least this is something that has been told me. I don't know if that's correct, but what is important is to think that many people would deserve an honorary citizenship. Many people would deserve to being told, good job, well done. And we don't. We humans tend to be bad people, because when somebody does something bad, we tend to tell them in a harsh way, in a prompt way. When somebody does something good, we keep the good words for ourselves. So that's, if you bring that to the institutions, it happens the same. A lot of people deserve to be recognized as good citizens, as people that work to create community. What I think, the way I received this citizenship, I felt very humbled. Like I was lucky, I was blessed to be the one who received something that many other people, other pastors, would have deserved, and who worked in the shadows, who worked and nobody realized what they were doing. And sometimes I think, when I read the Old Testament, I think that there are very few people in the Old Testament, very few names. Oh, I know we get bored when all the names are in the list, but there are very few people. But in order to have an Isaiah, in order to have a David, you need to have a lot of unknown people who built brick by brick the community, and their names will be forgotten. So this honor that I received is an honor that has been given to all these people. That's how I feel it. That's how I experience it. As to all the people that, you know, the volunteer in the church that you asked, oh, could you please open the sanctuary for this? You know, all the people that work because they believed in what the gospel says, and in how they should support the community. You know, so it's very good. It's what we can say. It's a sign of the times that the local administration of Palermo realized that Protestants did a lot in the city. That's important. That's something that we like. But you know, it's not personal. It's something that it's for our whole heritage. Okay, I think I'm pretty much done with it. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Peter. And thank you for your reflections on those who get recognition and those who get over-recognized, and those who get overlooked in terms of what they have contributed and what they do contribute to society, to the support of their fellow human beings, and so on.